That brings us to the Class A game, which was played on Saturday at noon. South Park and McKinley, two BPS schools, meeting at New Era Field for the first time. And we thought that could be a very fast game, and it was. And South Park really never, once they got going, they never stopped. I believe they won 38-0 over McKinley. They just ran into a buzzsaw. McKinley hadn't seen an offense like that all year, and I don't think their defense was ready for an offense like that. I just don't, because they were just running all over them, and McKinley couldn't move the ball.
I think that if you take a look at the teams in A1, particularly McKinley and Seneca West, they were the best. But then when you look at the A2 teams, there's five of those teams that were fighting for playoff berths, or even 6 of them. And if you take a look at what they accomplished during the season, that game was over in about 2 minutes, 3 minutes, because of the defense, because of Brandon Brown and the other defensive players, Keith Jackson. The interesting point in that game, even though the score was 38-0 at halftime, and that in the game, South Park was 0-8 in third down conversions, and McKinley was 0-13 or 0-12. And Timmy Delaney's got to fix that this weekend, because he's going to have much better competition. And I really think that the Macs, as you mentioned, never saw a defense. And when the Sparks play defense, it's so physical that if you're not ready for that, you're not going to be in the game. And that was demonstrated in the first few minutes.
So they're going to be playing against Canandaigua Academy, and of course they had scouts out at this game. And they're a tough team. A kid named Dom Camella. They're going to have to keep their eyes on a special team. Exciting player on special teams. Zach Wantuck is one of the running backs. Their quarterback, Brian Boldrin for Canandaigua, doesn't throw a lot, but when he does, he's on. He's a very, very good quarterback. His numbers are like 11 for 14, 4 of 5 in a week, 5 of 7 the week before, 12 of 16. Very good quarterback. Seems to be on his game. Another guy named Matt Verley, he's their kicker. That's something that South Park doesn't do a good job of, is kicking. Well, this team can kick, so Canandaigua is well balanced, and it is going to be an absolute fight. And South Park's going to have, they haven't really been pushed around, and maybe you can't push them around. Some of those guys are, look like they should be wrestlers,
But you take a look at when they played Williamsville South. Williamsville South was winning at halftime at 7-6. They finally won 28-7, but they didn't have their starting quarterback in that game. Then if you look at the semis, it was, closer than some people thought. But if you look, there is no kicking game for the majority of teams in Western New York. And for the city schools, rarely do you have a kicker. And I still think that South Park is just too talented, too physical, and should be able to be in the semis, not this week, the week.
I certainly hope so.